Did Kody Brown lie about Dayton's mishap? Robyn was there? Sister spouses saw Kody and Robyn Brown partaking in a day outside on four-wheelers during the most recent episode. In the episode, Robyn accidents and Kody hustles to her side. Yet, it brought back a few miserable recollections of Dayton Brown's terrifying occurrence on his ATV. Did Kody Brown lie about Dayton's mishap? Was Robyn at the location of the awful accident? Robyn and Kody Brown go on an experience. In the Sunday, January 5th, episode of Sister Spouses, Robyn and Kody earthy-colored take to the streets on their ATVs. Since Robyn has been riding since she was 13 years of age, she is excited to have a good time ahead. Indeed, even with the horrendous mishap where her child, Dayton Brown, caused serious wounds, Robyn loves riding ATVs. Be that as it may, Kody communicates his speed devil spouse went somewhat crazy and flew through the air in the wake of crashing her vehicle. Despite the fact that she left without evident wounds, fans were helped to remember Dayton's less lucky occasion. Moreover, it made them question assuming that Kody Brown was lying about the mishap to conceal Robyn was there. Did Kody earthy-colored lie about Dayton's mishap? Robyn was there? On Reddit, a few Sister Spouses fans discuss Robyn earthy-colored's affection for ATVs. According to Initial, a client, are we certain Robyn wasn't with Dayton when he got injured? Then, at that point, they add a progression of photographs. Proceeding with their point, does this appear to be incongruous to any other individual? Last Christmas she believes they're perilous and presently she's been riding since she was 13? Dayton's mishap should have happened when he was with his father, however at that point he could have been with Kody, so presently I'm thinking they were both there. Someone else says, assuming she came clean, she wouldn't need to recollect her falsehoods. Another Redditor adds, Robyn at first said Dayton got injured when he was away with companions. No, he was with Kody and his more established children. Tracker found Dayton who had crashed into a security barrier and caused serious harm to his face and eye. He nearly lost an eye. Robyn is exhausting AF and the makers are like move forward your game or we won't film both of you miserable sacks. Yet, certain individuals perceive while Robyn and Kody Brown were adventuring, she said she didn't maintain that her children should be familiar with that side of her since she didn't have any desire to be a terrible model. Somebody says, she's certainly a liar, yet a liar can like something and not believe her children should do it since she safeguards them from everything in life. Robyn earthy-colored schemes through the subtleties. In a Sister Spouses episode in 2015, Robyn earthy-colored refreshes fans about Dayton Brown's ATV mishap. She said, a long time back, Dayton was away visiting a few companions and he got into an ATV mishap. He needed to go into a medical procedure and it's a really extraordinary medical procedure. They needed to clear out the entirety of the garbage, they needed to join his face back up. Besides, Robyn adds, fundamentally, they needed to fix his eyelid and into his hair and stuff. Furthermore, it was truly traumatic. On TikTok at realiteasquad_sister shares a major inconsistency from both Robyn and Kody Brown about mechanized vehicles, particularly after Dayton's mishap. Also, in another video, Michael T. Brown Padron gave fans more data about Dayton's mishap. Michael T. reveals insight into the mishap. In a video on TikTok posted by at realiteasquad_sister, Michael T. Brown Padron and her better half, Tony Padron, discuss the horrible mishap Dayton Brown went through. Michael T. affirms, he was with my father. Then, at that point, she adds, thus, that enormous mishap that happened was over a Thanksgiving trip. While Kody Brown and a portion of the children were meeting with family companions, Chris and George, Dayton destroyed his ATV. Michael T. proceeds, Chris welcomed my family, okay with Thanksgiving. So my family went, he had 2 or 3 four-wheelers and they went out four-wheeling. Moreover, she says, father was out with him haggling genuine individual that found Dayton after that mishap happened was Tracker, Brown. Basically, Michael T. says Tracker needed to sort his face back out during the horrible accident. In any case, Michael T. made no notice of Robyn Brown going with them on the outing. A TikTok client remarked, yes, it was said on the show he was with his profile father when it worked out. According to furthermore, another person, it was suggested by Robyn that he was with his natural dad when it worked out. Nonetheless, somebody adjusts. On the show, Robyn said this occurred while Dayton was away for certain companions. That was all there was to it. Kody Brown has she never referenced any parental figure and energy for narrating. One way or another, outright untrue. Be that as it may, one of his new cases on sister spouses has left fans both amazed and entertained. During a family conversation, Kody nonchalantly referenced that he once showed up on the incredible game show The Value is Correct. This disclosure started an influx of interest among fans, who were anxious to look further into Kody's supposed television debut. While Kody didn't meticulously describe the experience, his case brought up issues about when and how this occasion occurred. Was this one more illustration of Kody's narrating, or is there genuine verification that he graced the famous phase of The Value is Correct? Here is a more profound plunge into Kody's astounding case and the responses it has collected. Kody's story, an astonishing confirmation. During a casual discussion with his family, Kody referenced his alleged appearance on The Value is Right while thinking back about previous encounters. The second felt easygoing, practically like a random remark. In any case, the case immediately got the notice of his relatives and watchers. I was on The Value is Correct once, Kody said with a smile, as though it were simply one more part in his daring life. It was a wild encounter. I won nothing huge, however it was as yet an impact. The family's responses were a blend of shock and wariness. Christine, ever the cynic, raised an eyebrow and prodded, "Stand by, are you serious, or is this simply one of your accounts?" In the interim, Robyn looked fascinated yet didn't press for additional subtleties. Fans watching the show were similarly partitioned, with it taking to web-based entertainment to scrutinize the legitimacy of Kody's case. The timetable: when could this have occurred? Kody's case normally drove fans to ponder when this appearance might have happened. Given his age and course of events in the public eye, it's conceivable that his supposed spell on The Value is Correct occurred well before he became known as the patriarch of sister spouses. If valid, this would have been during his more youthful years, potentially in his 20s or mid-30s, when he might have had additional opportunity to investigate such endeavors. A few fans guessed that this might have been before his union with Mary, during a time of self-revelation and experience. Notwithstanding, without substantial subtleties, the course of events stays a secret. Why fans have one or two misgivings. Kody has gained notoriety for being an emotional narrator, frequently decorating occasions or introducing his rendition of reality such that helps his story. Throughout the long term, fans have figured out how to think about his accounts while considering other factors, and this guarantee was no exemption. One fan remarked via online entertainment, "Kody generally has a wild story to tell, yet all at once, where's the evidence? I'll accept it when I see film of him turning the wheel or offering on a feature." Others repeated comparative feelings, bringing up that Kody's energy for embellishment frequently makes it hard to isolate truth from fiction. Adding to the wariness is the absence of any visual or video proof. In a time where even the littlest minutes are reported and shared, the shortfall of verification makes Kody's case significantly more sketchy. Might Kody at some point be coming clean? While many fans question Kody's story, it's not actually unthinkable that he showed up on The Value is Correct. The show has been a social peculiarity for a really long time, attracting hopefuls from varying backgrounds. Consistently, a great many confident members line up for an opportunity to be called to come on down and seek marvelous awards. Assuming Kody took part, it's conceivable that his appearance was brief or uninteresting, which could make sense of why it hasn't surfaced as of recently. Challengers who don't win huge awards or come to the last grandstand frequently blur into haziness, with their appearances recalled exclusively by dear loved ones. The family's responses, a blend of entertainment and uncertainty. During the episode, Kody's spouses had differing responses to his case. Janelle appeared to be really entertained and urged Kody to share more insights concerning the experience. "What did you bid on?" she asked with a giggle. "Did you come to the enormous wheel?" Robyn, then again, appeared to be more centered around whether the story was valid. "Do you have any confirmation of this?" she asked, obviously charmed. Kody answered with a giggle, saying, "You'll simply need to believe me." Mary, in every case fast with a wry comment, jested, on the off chance that this is valid, I'm shocked you didn't win the exhibit. You generally discuss how great you are at planning. Christine's response, in any case, was the most engaging. Kody, you're in every case loaded with shocks, she said with a grin. However, assuming you will make claims like this, you should be prepared to back them up. Fans search for proof. True to form, Kody's case sent fans into insightful mode. Online entertainment stages illuminated with conversations, as watchers scoured old The Value is Correct episodes and data sets for any proof of Kody's appearance. Some even kidded about contacting the show's makers to affirm whether Kody had at any point been a hopeful. I'm formally beginning a request to get The Value is on the whole correct to deliver old Contender Chronicles, one fan tweeted. We want to be aware assuming Kody Brown was truly on the show. In spite of their earnest attempts, fans still can't seem to uncover any substantial proof supporting Kody's case. Nonetheless, the actual pursuit has turned into a wellspring of diversion, with watchers sharing images and kids about Kody's potential game show debut. Kody's inspiration, why offer this at this point? A few fans have theorized about why Kody decided to share this story now. Was it a real endeavor to interface with his family through a cheerful story, or was it one more illustration of Kody looking for consideration? Given Kody's ongoing battles inside the family, it's conceivable that he was attempting to ease up the temperament and help everybody to remember his carefree side. On the other hand, it could basically be an instance of Kody thinking back about his past and sharing a second, yet one storyline specifically has left fans feeling deceived and disturbed, the supposed Avalon show. As watchers tuned in for what they trusted would be valid, family-focused minutes, many were left scratching their heads over what felt like an excessively performed and conceivably created circumstance including Avalon, T, and Tony Padron's young girl. While the show has for quite some time been known for its blend of close-to-home admissions and relational conflicts, this new storyline has fans addressing whether the makers, or even a portion of the relatives, are fabricating strain for evaluations. Here is a more critical glance at the Avalon show, fan responses, and the bigger ramifications for the series. What is the Avalon show? The storyline rotates around Avalon, the lovable little child of T. Brown Padron and her significant other, Tony Padron. In the episode, the family overemphasizes Avalon's connections and conduct during a family gathering. Strains evidently emerge when a few individuals from the earthy-colored family show up excessively worried about Avalon's turn of events, conduct, or collaborations with her lengthy family members. At the core of the show is an apparent eruption by specific relatives to generally typical baby jokes, for example, being modest, fastidious, or reluctant around new individuals. Scenes portray relatives remarking on Avalon's way of behaving as though it's characteristic of more profound issues, inciting pointless concern and warmed conversations. Fans bring out the beyond ludicrous responses. Fans quickly took to web-based entertainment to voice their disappointments over what they saw as a produced storyline. For what reason are they making no joking matter about a little child being a baby? One fan tweeted. Avalon is a youngster. She will be bashful or fastidious in some cases. That is typical, not show commendable. One more watcher remarked on Reddit, this entire Avalon show feels so phony. It resembles the makers required something to fill broadcast appointment, so they chose to start mischief over nothing. Many fans brought up that the alleged worries about Avalon's way of behaving appeared to be overstated and didn't line up with the real world. For instance, scenes showed Robyn Brown communicating profound worry over Avalon's battles to cooperate with others at a family occasion, despite the fact that Avalon was basically behaving like an ordinary little child. Made show or authentic concern? While certain fans fault the show's makers for blowing up minor issues into sensational minutes, others think specific relatives are effectively adding to the exaggerated account. Robyn, specifically, has been blamed for involving Avalon's way of behaving as a method for redirecting consideration from her own difficulties with the relational intricacy. Robyn is continuously searching for a method for making herself the focal point of consideration, one fan composed. Presently, she's utilizing Avalon to make show and make herself seem to be the mindful, concerned one. Others have estimated that the storyline was intended to make a fracture among Kody and other relatives, especially Kody and Robyn, who have been at the focal point of much analysis in late seasons. By featuring Avalon, the show shifts concentrate away from additional huge issues, like the stressed connections among Kody and his different spouses. Influence on Kody and Tony. While Avalon is without a doubt the point of convergence of this storyline, her folks, Kody and Tony, have likewise been brought into the debate. Kody, who is known for her laid-back character, appeared to be noticeably awkward during a portion of the more sensational scenes. Tony, then again, rushed to protect his little girl, closing down any beyond ludicrous worries from relatives. Fans valued Tony's straightforward methodology and acclaimed him for going to bat for Avalon. "Tony is the genuine MVP here," one fan remarked. "He's not allowing anybody to transform his girl into an exhibition for the cameras." In any case, a few watchers stress that Kody and Tony might confront long-haul aftermath from this storyline, as it could make pressure with other relatives or even stain their standing among fans. Why fans are exhausted. The Avalon show is the very most recent illustration of what many fans see as an upsetting pattern in sister spouses, a rising dependence on made storylines to keep watchers locked in. Throughout the long term, the show has moved from a veritable investigation of polygamy and everyday life to an unscripted television series filled with overstated clashes and sketchy stories. For long-term watchers, the Avalon storyline feels like a selling out of what made the show convincing in any case. "We watch sister spouses for genuine relational intricacies, not this phony show," one fan composed. On the off chance that the makers can't track down genuine stories to tell, perhaps now is the right time to end the show. Makers' job in the show. Pundits have likewise trained in on the show's makers, blaming them for focusing on appraisals over validness. By dramatically overemphasizing minor minutes, they risk estranging the show's target fans. "For what reason do they want to make show where there is none?" one fan addressed. "The Browns' lives are fascinating enough without this phony stuff. Just let us see their genuine battles and wins." A few fans have even required a blacklist of the show, encouraging others to quit watching until the makers return to more veritable narrating. Whether this development gets momentum is not yet clear, yet obviously numerous watchers are becoming fed up with the show's ongoing bearing. How this affects the Tans. The Avalon dramatization has featured further issues inside the earthy-colored family and the show all in all. By permitting themselves to be brought into these produced storylines, the Browns risk harming their validity and estranging their fanbase. For Kody and Tony, the circumstance is especially difficult. As more youthful individuals from the family, they are much of the time trapped in the crossfire of the bigger show encompassing Kody and his spouses. Notwithstanding, their eagerness to defend Avalon and stand up against the story proposes that they won't allow themselves to be controlled with such ease. End. The phony Avalon show has left fans disturbed and disappointed with sister spouses. While the show has consistently strolled a scarcely discernible difference among the real world and diversion, this storyline feels like out of line. Fans are approaching the makers to zero in on legitimate relational peculiarities as opposed to assembling pressure for evaluations. With respect to Avalon, she remains willfully ignorant of the show twirling around her, joyfully being the charming little child that she is. Furthermore, maybe that is the one silver lining in all of this. Regardless of how much show unfurls on screen, the most youthful individuals from the earthy-colored family are still children, carrying on with their lives from the commotion.